G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I am going to do a turtle shaker for you today using my little turtle mold. Now I did one the other day, just a little practice, and I actually made it into a snow globe. I put some water and glycerine in there. It's moving really slowly. I think I put too much glycerine in. And also I kind of made his shell like out of proportion. So anyway, that was just a little practice. So I thought I'm going to just do a shaker instead of a snow globe, and then I'll do a snow globe later on. So what I used was these. They're kind of, I think they're like for Christmas baubles. If you search like fillable bauble or just plastic bauble, it should come up. So anyway, it's a two-part. I've got the big ones, I've got the smaller ones, and I've actually got another smaller one as well. So I think I just got them from Amazon. I've had them for like over a year now. I haven't used them. So what I did with this one, because it was quite large, it sort of, when I put it in, it sort of did that and made my little shell distorted. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to cut this flat bit off. That's what they look like when it's together, like that. See? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the edge off, and I'm going to stick them together with some UV resin. This has actually got tape on it that you can take off, and then they just stick together. But like I said, I want to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can do it, because I don't think I need that edge. Goes my bigger scissors. I don't think I need that edge, so I'm just going to go around. I don't know if it's going to work very well. Maybe I should have kept a little bit of the lip. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe I should have kept half of that lip so that I've got something to push down. Otherwise it's not going to be, yeah, I don't think that's going to work all that well. Maybe. It's just that because I haven't got any of that lip left, it might be a bit tricky to join the two together. I think I've got a few, so I'll try one where I just cut half of this lip off, and we'll see how we go with that, hey? I won't throw the other one away because I can use it another time. I just want to see how this goes, because I am making it a little bit smaller, so it should fit into my turtle a little bit better. And then still have that little lip that I can press the two pieces together with. So I took off a reasonable amount, I guess. I'll do the same with the other one. Alright, so I did the other one as well. Now you can peel that little bit of paper off. And that one as well. Get all these out of the way. And then the other thing you need to do is if I can do it, there's a clear plastic on the inside as well. Or is it on the outside? I can't remember now. Okay, so that clear protective coating is on the outside, on the domed side. So you just peel that off as well, like so. Everything wants to stick to me because I've got gloves on. There we go. So peel those off. And now what we're going to do is the fun part. What I'm going to do is I am going to, I'll just put, actually I could probably use that. That might be a bit big. Maybe that. Just a little cup there, just to stop it from rolling around, okay? So what we're going to do is, just because it's a shaker, you're just going to fill it up with things that are going to move around nicely. So I have got these little tiny turtles. Just put one of those in. I thought I might put two, but I'll just put one in. I've got a couple of bits of shell. Put those in. And some glittery things. There's shells and stars and just glittery things. I would stay away from fine glitter though, because what it does is it just kind of sticks to the sides. So, you know, your traditional glitters that you'll put in resin. So I would stay away from those and probably go for bigger things that move around and aren't going to kind of stick to the sides, if you know what I mean. So a few of those. And just little colourful balls, and we've got some little shells as well. I might put a couple of little shells in. I'll see if I can find some, or just a couple of the smallest ones, put them in. If I can find, there's another one, little tiny ones. It's missing its end. Find another one. There we go. A couple of, oops, we've got three. Find the smallest ones. Put those in. I'll pack that away later. Move all that up. And then just some silver, little silver balls. I think that would look nice. So yeah, when I'm doing shakers, I like to add some, you know, different sizes, different colours. But definitely things that have got a little bit of weight to them, so that they don't just all cling to the edges. All right, so now what we need to do is I need to put the lid on. Where's the lid? Where's my lid? Oh, there it is. It's clear, I couldn't even see it. Oh gosh. All right. Is that the lid? Yes, I think that's the lid. Yeah. And that, I tried to peel the inside off, and it wasn't the inside, it was the outside, so it's not as pretty. So that's going on the back. So I've got my UV lamp. I'm going to put some UV resin just on the edge there. That's the Let's Resin. Actually, I think I'll do it on this one. Oh no! Disaster averted. I just scooped it all up. It's okay. That's the joys of live videoing. Now, I thought I might put a little bit of this in as well. This is like a colour, well, not a colour changing. It just sort of catches the light, just so that I haven't got everything that's just blue. And it kind of matches, because they're kind of whitish, they kind of match the white shell. So I'll just pop a few of those in. And then I've also got some little charms. Now, I don't know whether these are going to be too big. Probably too big, aren't they? Oh, it's a little starfish. Let's do that. So they're charms, so I'm just going to chop the end off. Like that. And we'll put that in as well. I'm going to put it down face down the way I want it, but look, they're probably going to flip over anyway. They may flip over. So there we go. So there's all kinds of little goodies you can put in your shakers, and it's a lot of fun. All right, now the other thing you need to do before you put your lid on is just make sure that nothing's touching the edge, because remember that used to be a sticky edge, and you may get a few little things sticking to the edge later, but I'll try to not. Now, oh my gosh, it's not knock it over this time. So I'm going to put, this is nearly empty. I'm just going to put a little bit of the UV, just a tiny little bit, just around this half lip that I've kept. Remember, I only cut off half of the lip. So we'll put that around there. And going to just put that on top like so. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Hopefully it's in the right spot. And let's cure that. I don't know if I can put it down. No, I better hold it because it might touch the top. All right, I'm going to give that 2 minutes, and then I'll come back to you. All right, so that's a minute. So I'm going to flip it over. And we'll do the other side as well for a minute. Whoops, it's touching. Okay, I've got to hold it. All right, that is done. It's had its 2 minutes. All right, let's have a little look and see what we've got. Yay, it works. Oh, okay, so I could have put a bit more in, I guess. But I think if you put too much in, like it's just full and it doesn't look as if there's any movement, you know. So, like I said, some of the little bits will kind of get stuck to the edge because it was sticky from you know that white tape. When you take the tape off, it's kind of sticky on the bottom. I did peel that off, but there's a little bit, I guess, residue still there. But look, there's my little turtle, and there's the shells. Where's the starfish? Oh, he's underneath somewhere. He's heavy, so he's underneath. So anyway, the next thing we need to do is mix up some resin. And what I thought I would do, I'm going to do it in 2 stages. I thought I would just mix up a little bit of resin and then put that in there. See, it fits really quite nicely just in there like that. What I did with the other one, I kind of pushed it down too much and it made the shell spay out. But if you wanted to, you could use you know, this size, which sort of sits down a little bit further. So maybe next time I'll use that one. But look, either of them work. This one just sort of sits a bit lower. It probably would have been better because it sits lower. Next time. I've got lots. I can do another one. All right, so I'm going to mix up a little bit of resin and we will put that in. I think, yeah, I'm going to do it in 2 stages because if I fill it up, because it's, you know, it's light and it's full of air, it's just going to float. So I'll put in a little bit, stick him down, and then we'll come back and fill it up with a darker color just so that you can really see those rather than have everything clear. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, I have got a little bit of Platinum 360 Plus resin. And I'm just going to give that a blow, make sure there's nothing in there. And we'll just pour a little bit in. I'm going to pour it onto a stick just to help prevent too many bubbles from splashing. I only made up 50 grams of A and 22 grams of B. Just a tiny bit. Now I'm being very careful not to torch too much and melt my mold. You can use a flashlight, a little torch, just to see the bubbles, and then you can sort of pick them out. I won't worry about tiny little micro bubbles, but if there's a bigger one in there, I will try and get that out because it'll kind of spoil the effect. All right, so that's that done. Now Make sure I put this in the right way. So that's the turtle's back there that I can see. So it's going in this way. I'm kind of wishing I had used that slightly smaller one now, because I can't get any further down into the shell. All right, so I can still see that I can have a little bit more resin underneath that. So I just want to make sure that the whole little shaker disc is wet. It's touching resin. Kind of wants to tip forward a little bit. So with the last one, when I did this one, it was kind of floating, so I pushed something heavy on it, and of course that made everything splay out. So I don't want to do that this time, but I do want to just put something on it. I'll put a little bit more on, just to keep it straight, basically, because it wants to tilt a little bit. All right, so I think I've got the whole edge now is touching resin, which is what I want. So I'm just going to put something on it. I'm just going to put one of these little druzy discs. It's basically this end here. It just kind of wants to flip up. So I'm just going to put that where I want it, like so. And put something on it, but not too heavy. It's just going to just sort of touch that top bit there. That'll do. That'll do. I've got this because I'm going to do a, it's my little split cup. I'm going to do a 3D bloom split cup shortly. So I've got it sitting on the side there to remind me that that's what I want to do in my upcoming video. So again, make sure that that's, I was just trying to center this a little bit better. Give it a bit of pressure there, put that on. Yeah, like I said, I don't want too much pressure that it's going to push it down and move the whole turtle out, but I just want to keep it from tipping forward. All right, so that's it. Once that has cured enough that it's kind of touch dry, we'll come and do another color, another layer, and that's when we'll put the color in. And I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Not sure what I'm going to use. We'll see. We'll see what I'm going to use. I'll figure it out. All right. See you in a few hours. Right. I've just taken the top off, and it seems to have set quite nicely. It makes a little dent when I poke it with a toothpick, but it's cured enough for the next step. So I wanted to do something sort of glittery. So I've got these from the Stuck Up Pigs, from this little piggy. This one's like a greeny tone, and this one's more of a purpley blue. I'm going to start, this is a bluey green. I'm going to try this one first and just see what it looks like. If it's too green, I might add a little bit of blue. Just gonna, a little bit in there, see what it looks like, because it's quite shimmery. And I thought that would look nice. Oh, that's a nice color. Yeah, I like that. Okay, you're going to the side. I won't use you. I like this one. I was going to make sure that it's opaque enough. See, I can still see the stick through there. So I'll put a little bit more. I think that's definitely sea turtle color, isn't it? Definitely. So this one is called Boastful. So that's like your greeny blue. I think that would be perfect for a turtle. What do you think? I think sea turtles are generally green, and I think that dark color will let us, you know, see all those little pieces in our shaker quite nicely. I can see some blue in there as well, so that should be perfect. Now the clear's kind of gone halfway up the head, so that's fine. I don't mind that. So we'll still have dark in the head and all the flippers. Now I've just, in my little cup here, I did 60 grams of A, 30 grams of B. Again, they're 360 plus because it cures up so quickly. You know, you can do a project and unmold it in just I don't know, 6 or 8 hours, depending on what you're doing, how deep it is, the temperature of your room. I'll make sure I get in there. Also got to make sure that I get into the little tail. Now, when you've got something in there that's sort of half cured, you've got to be really careful that you don't loosen it. Otherwise, this resin will go in underneath. So you've got to be really careful. Try not to touch it too much. I'm just going to go into the little tail there. I think that's the tail. And make sure that there's no bubbles. The resin's gone right in there. So yeah, this is 2 ounces of A and 1 ounce of B. I'll just push the neck there and let it go slowly so that other resin can get sucked in. See that? See how it's getting sucked in? So I'll put a little bit more in. Hopefully I've got enough. You don't want a bubble under the neck. I mean, if you do, it doesn't matter because it's going to be, you know, touching your bench, your table, so no one's going to see if there's a bubble in the neck, but try not to. Right, I'm going to see if I can get back in here with into the little tail there. I'm feeling as if it's got some clear in it actually, into that tail, so yeah, not sure. Not sure what I was poking at. There was a little bit of resistance. I'm thinking there's a little bit of clear gone into the tail. So maybe the tail's going to be half clear and half green. I don't know. We'll find out. Right, so I like to fill my molds as much as possible to dome them because as the resin cures, it kind of shrinks away from the edges and then you get that little lip on the edge like that, which is quite sharp. So I prefer to fill them and dome them, which means it's kind of curved like that on the edges. So when it shrinks away a little bit, it's just kind of more level rather than that little sharp lip. I'll take you down in a minute so you can see what I'm talking about, so you can see like the dome. You have to be really careful though, because if you break the surface tension, it'll all run out. So at the moment it's holding its own, but if you touch the side or a bit of resin falls out, then it'll all fall out. Now I'm not going to torch it because there's a lot of, you know, there's only a little bit of resin, so you've got a high chance of actually touching the mold with your flame, and then you'll fuse your resin to your mold. So don't do it. Just spray it with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and I'll just put it in here, little travel mister. That way it's really fine. Look at the way it's pulling in. I love the way marker powder does that. You can see the way resin moves from the outside to the inside. I think I've got enough in there. I'm going to just bring you down so that you can see what I mean by doming. Look at that colour, isn't that stunning? I will come back to you in about 6 hours, I guess, and we will demold, but I'll just give it another little spray. You can see the bubbles accumulating on the fin there, and I'll just give them a quick little spray like that, and they're gone. Actually, it looks much bluer through the screen. When I look at it, it's really quite green. So hopefully you will see the correct colour when I unmold. All right, see you soon. All right, I think it's cured enough. It's probably still a tiny bit soft, but I'm going out shortly for dinner and I want to unmold it and have a look before I go because, you know me, I'm way too impatient to wait till tomorrow. So I'll just get this side off. I'll leave the head for last. I've got to remember to pull the little tail out like that, and then all we do is you can hang on to this here and you just give that a bit of a wriggle like that to loosen it, and there we go. All right, so I've got mainly got a little bit of clear there, and then the bluey green under his chinny chin. All right. Actually, just the very, very tips where it's thinnest is a little bit soft still. I'll just lay it down flat somewhere. All right, I will link my turtle mold for you. It's in my US Amazon store and it's also in my eBay store. So I'll pop those links for you down below. All right, here we go. I can see through it a little bit because I didn't quite make it opaque enough. So I can kind of see through the bottom, but all right, here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. It's really magnified though because I've got resin above, so it's really magnified. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, I can't really see it all that well because it's on the side there. Now there's about this much of resin above the actual shaker. So I think if I'd used the smaller one, it probably would have worked better because you can see the sides there. I probably needed maybe a little bit more, some more goodies in there. But look, it's my first attempt at a shaker and a turtle, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. What I could potentially do, there's not much resin there. I could actually cut a hole in that if I wanted to, and fill it up with some liquid so that it was kind of more like this because the little balls are floated. I wonder if that would work. I wonder how deep that is. How deep is your love? It's a bit of a shame. Like, yeah, definitely should have gone with the smaller dome and put it lower in the shell so that I don't have so much gap between the shaker and the top of the shell. Operation time. I just want to see how much room I've got here above, because it hasn't worked exactly the way I wanted to. So I'll see if I can have a play around with it and just see what I can come up with. So that's just a little thin layer of resin over the top. Actually, I think I've actually gone, yes I have, I've gone into that little dome. Woo! All right, let's mix up some glycerine and we'll turn it into a snow globe. Why not? All right, so I've got some glycerine and, oops, I'll pour some in there. I'm going to try for like 50-50. This is just water. I'll try that. If you make it, like, it still looks and feels really, really thin, even when it's 50-50. But when I did this one, I did 50-50 and it was like, it felt like too much like water. So I added more glycerine and added more glycerine. I ended up doing like 4 parts glycerine to 1 part water. Still felt really thin, but now I can see that it was too much. So this is probably just 50-50. I should put the lid back on that before I stab myself. And one of these little bottles is a good way of adding. I mean, you could use a syringe as well, but I think this works well. Probably won't be able to fit all of that in there. All right, let's just squeeze this in. Not sure how much it's going to take. I guess once it starts coming out the hole, I'll know that there's enough in there, right? Now that was me just spilling. Okay, so that's empty now. Put some more in. You know, if something doesn't work the first time, you don't have to throw it out. You know, there's always, well, not always, but sometimes you can just change it up and do a snow globe instead of a shaker, you know, for instance. But there's ways of fixing things, I think. I better not squeeze too hard. I'm not quite sure how much this is going to take. I never know, and you guys might know, are we supposed to leave a little bit of space, like for an air bubble, or are we supposed to fill the whole thing with fluid? Okay, can take a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Are we supposed to leave an air bubble in a snow globe, or are we supposed to fill it all the way up with liquid? Whoa, okay. Now it is on a bit of an angle, so I'm not sure if I've totally filled it. Yeah, I think I have, because it's coming back out. Now, can one of you just pop down and hold this for me, because I need to reach over to my shelf and get my UV resin. So, how am I going to do this? It's not going to want to stay. All right, it can just stay there for a minute. Now, because this is just an experiment, I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape just over that little hole there. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of UV resin just on the edge there. Actually, I'll just kind of spread it over the whole thing. Just like that. Don't need a lot. I don't want to make like a big bump on the outside there. I just want to give it a thin little coating. Zap that for a minute. Alright, so that's had about 1.5 minutes. Now, it's not pretty, but, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just a little experiment. Okay, so here we go. A new reveal for a Snowglobe turtle. Oh, look at that. Now we've got movement. That looks much better, actually. I guess because before the Snowglobe was, well, the shaker was clear, but now it's filled up with liquid. Now it's got a tiny little bit of shimmer in there, only because that little paper cup that I used, it had shimmer in it previously from this one. So it's still got a tiny bit in there. So, oh, that looks much better. Now, of course, my shells have sunk, and my little metal starfish has sunk because, you know, they're heavy, but I can see them in there. I like how these balls are moving, and there's a little bubble. See the bubble? There is a bubble in there. So I don't know whether, like I said, I don't know whether you're supposed to have a bubble in there or not. But anyway, Snowglobe, shaker, whatever you want to call it. There's my turtle. Saved it. I think I saved it. Yeah, so the lesson we've learnt from this is if you're going to do a shaker, the actual top of the shaker's got to be as close to the top of your mold as possible, because there's that resin gap in between that really doesn't work very well with a shaker. Whereas if you're doing a snow globe, it doesn't really matter, because then you've got resin on the top of the shaker and resin inside as well, so it just looks like water, and that's moving quite well. That's like I said, it's a 50-50 water and glycerine, so it's moving quite nicely. All right, I'm gonna get ready to go out now. I'm gonna leave in half an hour. I've got to get changed. Now, coming up in a video, I am going to show you what we can do with eyes. All right, there's a hack. Turtle eyes is a hack coming up, so stay tuned for that one. All right, I will see you guys a little bit later on, And definitely going to try again with the turtle. I'll use the smaller one and we'll do a shaker. All right? Okay, thanks for watching. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. Bye for now.